Hey, what's up, Stringlings? Today I want to talk about my favorite Donner guitars. Let's check it out. So a little bit of housekeeping. First of all, there's two things going on that I just want to let you know about. First, I'm trying out this new lapel mic. I haven't tried it on a full video before, but we're going to try it here in the space and see how it sounds. There's a little bit of rumbling noise in the background, so we're going to find out how well it cancels out that noise. Second, the microphone that's on the desk, the TZ Audio microphone condenser mic that I usually use, is not on for this one, so it's all going to be the lapel mic. And also we have to talk about this. Cool, right? So on April Fool's Day, of all days, I fell off a swing at the park and broke my ring finger on my fret hand. Jacked it up pretty bad, and so it's got a couple of screws in it, and tomorrow this cast is supposed to come off so I can start rehab and get back to playing, but that's why I haven't done any demos. I have guitars waiting in line, and I have some pedals waiting in line, and in the meantime, I'm just going to talk for a bit, so you're going to have to listen to me yapping. And that is why I decided that right now I'm going to do this little rundown of all the Donner guitars in my collection and let you know more or less what I think of them. So let's start with number 9. This is the Donner DST 100. This is what Donner calls their beginner model Strat. It's an HSS Strat, humbucker and 2 single coils, but on this one, the humbucker doesn't split, so it's just a full-time HSS. There's nothing wrong with that. I have several guitars that do that already. And so as a result, this is the only guitar in the collection that I have sold. And I sold it because I didn't need another instrument in that niche. It's probably the cheapest overall rig you can get. It comes with a mini amp and a strap and a gig bag and all of the things that you usually get with Donner guitars. But overall, even though there's nothing really wrong with the construction of it, I did have to do some fretwork. I had to level and crown the frets. I had to straighten the neck. Anytime you get a new guitar, you should bring it in for a setup anyway. But in this case, I would say there are better guitars overall in their collection, but more so, I just didn't need this one around. So that's why I sold it. And I sold it to somebody who needed an electric guitar for their grandson for Christmas. So it was a good opportunity once it was set up to put it in the hands of a student and give them something kind of cool to start with. Next in line is the DJC 1000. This is their take on the thin line Telecaster. It's a semi-hollow body guitar. The body is made out of, I think, poplar. The neck is maple, the fretboard is maple, and there's not actually anything that I could say is wrong with this guitar. For me, I just didn't like the way it I shouldn't say I don't like it. It wasn't the kind of guitar that I just pick up and be like, I am inspired to play when I hold this instrument. Sometimes I am. Sometimes I pick it up, and I'll plug it in and try it out and be like, yeah, actually, I should play this more. It's not a bad instrument. There's not really anything wrong with it. It did need a little bit more help with the setup. But if it's a look that you're going for, this is actually a really, really good guitar. Just on the list, it's not one that I go to first when I reach over to the rack and I grab a guitar, and that's kind of where my head goes. So the DJC 1000, it's a good thin line type model, just not top tier for the type of playing that I usually do. Before I go on to number 7 on the list, I just want to point out that some people are under the impression that when we do these guitar reviews, we're getting paid to say great things about them. And that's just honestly not the case. They do send me the guitars, and they have them picked randomly from Amazon. They send them to me from their Amazon warehouse. So it's not like they're handpicking something that they've set up. It's just coming off the shelf by whatever the pickers do. But I get paid in gear, right? So if the gear is garbage, I don't need it, so I send it back, and I just say like I can't say anything good about this, and that's the end of it. So when you see me talking about guitars from Donner or any other company, the reality is they've sent me an instrument, and that's my pay for it. I'm trying to get more sponsorship to actually promote more, but as it is right now, the guitars that I have and the effects that I have come in as the payment. So for the time being, what I'm giving you is just my opinion of the instrument, and I don't give you my opinion of instruments that suck, because I'm not going to waste my time or my studio space on crap. So you're getting the stuff that I think you should get, not the stuff that they're telling me to tell you to buy. So that's what it boils down to as far as that goes. All right, on to number 7, the DLP 124. This is Donner's take on the Les Paul style, but it's not on a Gibson Les Paul, it's on the Epiphone Les Paul Special. The configuration is a little bit different from sort of the classic Les Paul, but the body shape is what the body shape is. It has 2 controls on it. The pickups don't split. The switch is down between the controls. So it's a different configuration than a sort of classic Les Paul standard. But the thing about this particular guitar is it's almost identical to the Epiphone. It's a little bit cheaper. So you could flip a coin and I think get either one. The thing with this one, it did need some setup. It did need a little bit of help out of the box, but also it's not, I don't find it very comfortable to play. The body's not contoured at all, so it's kind of boxy and a little bit, sharp on the edge. It's just not, it doesn't sit well on my body with, with my belly sitting there, and not my favorite guitar. Sounds great. The demo is available, so you can check it out. It does sound fine. It plays fine. There's nothing wrong with the way it plays. It's got a little bit of a thicker neck than I like. And I ended up letting my kid use this one to learn on, because he wanted kind of a cooler electric guitar, and it's a good jump from the acoustic. So yeah, not my personal favorite, but there's, again, if you want that kind of look, this is a good place to jump into that market. Jumping down the list at number, I lost track, 9876. Number 6 is the DMT 100. This is their dual humbucker heavy metal style guitar. The humbuckers are high output. It is hot as hell. The body is nice and light. It's poplar. The neck, I believe, is maple. The fretboard is made out of teakwood, which is a composite material. Really great use of recycled materials, I think. This is their only 24 fret guitar on the list, and the neck is lightning fast. It is a blazing fast neck. This one I had to do some actual fret work on. I had to actually, the frets were rough, so I had to actually get in there and polish the frets a little bit, get the action a little bit off of the fretboard as well, because the neck needed to be adjusted. But you should be doing this with any new guitar anyway, right? Making sure that it's, up to a professional level of playing when you get it. So have the store or some shop locally do a setup when you get a new guitar. It's worth the investment, because you will have an instrument that you love. And this one I really do like. I just don't use it as much as I probably should. And so this is a good reminder for me to pull it out more often and tune it up and put it through its paces, because it is actually a really nice guitar to play on. Next on the list is the Donner Hush 1. This one takes a little bit of heat because they bill it as a silent guitar, but you can still hear the strings. Well, of course you can hear the string. You can hear the strings on an electric guitar when you don't plug it in, but it's an acoustic. It's meant to be played as an acoustic, and so it's much quieter than an acoustic guitar because it doesn't have a sound hole or any resonating features. It has a piezo, and I use this one quite a lot. I'll just grab it to practice some chords or whatever, even when the kids are in bed. So you can practice really quietly on this guy, and it is fun to play. People are always kind of surprised by it when you plug it in, and it has this nice rich acoustic tone to it. Does it sound like a $5,000 Martin? No, it doesn't. Why would it? Right? It's never going to sound like that. No guitar is going to sound like that except a $5,000 Martin. So don't get hung up on those kind of details. For what it does, excuse me, for what it does and how it performs, it's a really great guitar. Again, tiny bit of setup and you're good to go. Next on the list is the DAG1CE. Now, you might not find this guitar listed with that call number. I had to look around a little bit to find it. This is an acoustic electric. It's one that we gave away a couple of years ago. It comes with a little amplifier in the box, and it plays great. Now, the body, I think, is agathis with a spruce top. I believe it's actually a picture of wood grain on top. That's just a little bit of a design feature or flaw, depends on how you want to look at it, but I love playing it. I like holding this guitar. It plays really nicely. The neck is really nice to play on. So for me, that's kind of where I go with it, right? The output, because it's an acoustic electric, you would think you'd have a little bit more body when you plug it in, but it's a passive system and it's not very loud. So it does need some help from the board to get loud enough to really kind of use it in a mix. So for my part, I'm considering putting in an active preamp system just because I like the feel of the guitar. I wouldn't normally do this with a budget guitar because, it's a budget guitar, right? But honestly, I play it all the time, probably every other day, not recently, but probably every other day. I will grab this one as my acoustic to kind of play with when I don't need to be silent, and it's just a joy to play. Okay, now we're getting into the top three. The top three guitars on this list are in the top three spaces because they get played almost every single day. They get a lot of work out of me. So number 3 on this list is the DST 152. This is another DST model, and I absolutely love it. I love the kind of icy metallic blue color. I love the fingerboard on it. I love just the way it plays. The bridge pickup does split, so you can do that full-time kind of 3 single coil Strat playing effect. And it's just a really great guitar to play on. It has a slightly thicker neck than I like, but it's really good for blues and country. Lots of chording possibilities. It feels comfortable when you're playing chords. It's great to solo on. Just an all-around really solid workhorse of an instrument, and it looks cool, and it has all the styling features that I'm looking for in this type of model. So highly, highly recommended. If you like a slightly thicker kind of C-shaped neck profile, this is the one to get.
That sounds great.
Moving down to number 2. Number 2 was a bit of a surprise, I think, for everybody, including myself. It's the DJT 1000. This is Donner's take on the ES335 style. I think more of a take on the Epiphone modeling than the Gibson modeling, personally. But what was really surprising was how well this instrument performs right out of the box. I didn't do any setup on it when I did my demo, and it was fine. I have done a little bit of setup on it since then, but the performance on it has been so good that, you know, one of my bandmates borrowed it for a rehearsal, and he bought one the next day without even batting an eye. He went right onto Donner's website and grabbed it. The main difference between this one and the Epiphone is that the pickups do split, so you can do some single coil stuff. You can do lots of blending with the one single and one humbucker. And just how you control the mix between the pickups. So you can do lots of blending with it. Just generally a guitar that I play at least once a day under most circumstances. Just go to the rack, grab a guitar. It's going to be that one or the next one. And it's a little bit heavier. It does have a maple core. It is fully hollow inside as well. And I haven't had any issues with this in the time that I've had it, and I use it for gigging and rehearsing and recording and stuff. So just a really great all-around instrument, and it fills that niche in my collection very, very nicely. So probably my second favorite of the Donner guitars. Which of course brings us to the number 1 choice out of all of the Donner instruments that I have, which is the DST 400. This is one of my favorite guitars out of all of my guitars. And I think that's a bit of a surprise because it's a Donner, so it's considered a budget guitar. They call it an intermediate level guitar, but I play it as a pro, and I play it a lot. Like every day, it's sitting out where I can grab it because I like playing this guitar. It has a sort of a thinner, it's kind of a D-ish shaped neck. Excuse me. The body is alder. It's their only alder body. The finish is this amazing translucent green. You can see the wood grain through it. The zebra stripe pickup splits. The bridge has those rolled steel tuners, or rolled steel saddles. Sorry, it has the vintage style slotted tuners. It's as close as you're going to get to a Strat in this category. It's probably more along the lines of a Squire Strat at about half the price. Honestly, just fantastic playing instrument. The neck is maple, the fretboard is rosewood. I haven't had any electronics issues with it. The only thing I changed on this one were the knobs. I went with these really cool Irish green knobs from Iron Age guitar accessories in Texas, because I just wanted to kind of amp up the look of it and make this a little bit more customized to myself. But honestly, guys, I love this guitar. It fills in for metal tests and country and blues and rock. I use it on pedal demos. I grab it when I want to try out a new amp. Like, it's just one of my all-time favorite guitars. And I'm saying this because I use it, not because Donner has said like, oh, here's a bunch of money. Tell everybody how much you love this guitar. I use this guitar a lot. It's a really, really great guitar. So do not sell these budget models short. Everything on this list is totally playable, excellent, excellent instruments. But honestly, you can go from those top three and you will have no issues at all as far as I'm concerned. But this has only been my experience. If you've had another experience, or if you've had a similar experience, let me know what your experience has been with the Donner guitars. Make a comment down below. If you haven't already done so, make sure that you like and subscribe to this channel so that you get updates when they come out. And as I'm running this channel, I am also currently running a Kickstarter for a new string brand that's branded off of some of my other products that I sell. But that Kickstarter link is down in the description below. So as long as the Kickstarter is running, the link will be there. So if you feel like supporting me that way, that would be a big help. And in the meantime, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe. Let me know what you think, and I will talk to you again really, really soon.